And welcome to Fatboy FadeAway Sports episode 178 here with you on a Sunday morning. School is out here in Sonoma County. Tyler McGurk, Casey Breyer with me. We're back again 2 weeks in a row, the big three there with it. Tyler, how are we doing here?
I'm doing good. Got our ceremony to celebrate our championship in a little 5:30 practice at 9. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Talk a little sports. Talk a little soda. I don't know. We'll see how this thing goes.
We'll have a lot of little things. I feel like this is kind of an odd week here, sports-wise. We have just the NBA Finals, but then they stretch it out for 4 weeks to make it happen. I'm just kidding. Case, how are you doing out there, sir? 2 weeks in a row out here. Casey Breyer, what a world we're living in. I love it.
I can't get enough of this beautiful face over here. It's been a good week, man. A little fatigued, but it's all right. It's been a good week, man. Just had a question for Tyler. Are you bringing donuts to that game or what?
No donuts. Bring one of the damn donuts. Strictly volunteer work.
What do you guys think of this week in sports? We'll get into the finals a little bit too. We got like a few other storylines. We'll get into NFL. I have little NFL things I kind of want to just kind of get your guys' thoughts on as well. I kind of find it funny with school getting out. I saw this article about sodas. That's why I started the sodas thing. The Dr. Pepper moves to number 2. And the reason that caught my attention was because the first thing I think about when I think of Dr. Pepper is I think about the marketing thing they always do for the college football, where they throw it through that's like all I think about with Dr. Pepper is the guy at the SEC championship that tries to throw it through the big soda bottle. I just remember always wanting to do that. And I was thinking because I was like, I have Dr. Pepper in our fridge. Like my kids love Dr. Pepper. Xavier loves is it as simple as marketing with these things? Like that way Pepsi is now number 2 and do you guys actually even like Dr. Pepper? Do you ever drink? I feel like it is kind of taking. I always see people drinking Diet Dr. Pepper now too. What is going on with this?
I think Diet Dr. Pepper is the best diet soda there is. If you like diet drinks, which most of them are terrible. I'm not a big Dr. Pepper guy. I'd rather drink a Pepsi. I'd rather drink a root beer or a Coke. Those are my 3 go-to. I'll drink Dr. Pepper. I'm not going to turn it down, but it's not in my top 2. But the media thing, I mean, as far as marketing, it's huge in all walks of selling something to people, especially to the masses.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Dr. Pepper either. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's not my acquired to. Well, sometimes things can be overrated. I just don't think Dr. Pepper's all that great. Speaking of diet, I think me and Tyler had the grossest diet ever when we were maybe middle school. They came out with that Pepsi one. It's the worst soda ever.
I thought it was some special sugary Pepsi and took a sip and this is foul. What the hell is this?
I still think. What is number 1 there? Coke, so?
Coke by a lot.
Yeah, I figured so. Yeah.
I just wonder how much sports plays an influence on these things. You guys remember, all the Sprite commercials that they used to have,
Kenny gave me this shirt because he modeled his game after mine. Well, Hill and I carpool to work every morning. Kenny was going to give me his card, but I wanted the jersey instead. Hill and I exchanged recipes.
Look under Sprite bottle.
They used to have free Sprite. Was always doing something with the NBA or something like that. They had Grant Hill for a while. They always had all that stuff when they go to. I feel like they're that's the way Dr. Pepper's now using it. They got they have more people like Steve Smith. I remember was doing it for a little bit. They had they were using NFL players for a little bit. So, and I feel like the college part has been the biggest market they've been able to feed off over the last 20 years because now everybody's 40. They got to drink diet soda.
It's true.
I'll never drink diet soda. I'll die with diabetes before I have diet soda.
I looked it up in 2000. Dr. Pepper was number 6. I think the one that that jumped out was that wasn't on the list anymore. Was Mountain Dew was higher up. So I guess I remember with the X Games, maybe that was part of the reason they were higher. With the Skip Bayless downfall, maybe that's why they're not on. I don't know what.
Anything he touches, it goes to.
Mountain Dew is down. It is down in the ground right now. Ryan McGurk out there. Yeah, the Grant Hill commercials. Yes.
I do have a question, Darren. Do you know what the new NBA Starry is? That one up there at all?
Starry is that considered Sprite still? That's what I thought it was.
No.
I think it's I think it was Serum Mist.
So here's what it has in
That's Pepsi.
popularity in the top 10 last year. We had Coke number 1. We had Dr. Pepper and Pepsi kind of tied for 2. Dr. Pepper slightly took the lead this week. Sprite, Diet Coke, Mountain Dew, Coke Zero, Diet Pepsi, and then a Fanta. And then, of course, a local favorite, the Canada Dry. We got that at number 9.
An old ginger ale. That's an old wise stuff. People who drink ginger ale I'm like, that does not help. There's no way that is helping you get better drinking ginger ale because you're sick.
I remember my grandma and grandpa used to always keep I'm like, my goodness, like if we go to, all I know is this: if we go to war, at least we'll make a lot of money on ginger ale. I know well.
We'll have a lifetime of grape drink and Cheez-Its. We'll be set for life.
It's a great snack.
And Ocean Spray cranberry juice. We'll have a lot of that ready to go there. So we have that one.
There's Ocean Spray cranberry juice. Not vodka far behind. I know that.
Fanta surprised me a little bit. That was one that kind of got me a little bit. Fanta.
I love orange soda. I do.
I was surprised. Remember, the one that was also popular with kids because they even made a video game out of it was 7-Up. They had the little red dot. I feel like they were out there for a little bit, right? They even,
yeah.
Remember that?
I forgot about that video game.
I still have this Sega 7-Up video game. That's
remember
funny.
that? So that was a total marketing thing right there to jump up on there. And then I think most people would guess if I said name a top 10 soda like that. I think most people would. It wasn't on here, but I think most would guess root beer. But it wasn't on there either. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's insane.
Maybe there's no one brand for root beer. I guess that's maybe
A&W.
Is that the best? I don't know. Not a bit. Are you
it's the best, but it's the most popular, I would guess.
How about for Father's Day, a dad's root beer this weekend that we're gonna have?
I can't remember the last time I've seen a dad's root beer in a can. I've seen them in glass at the local markets, but
I probably have to order them. The dads. I remember those were quite popular at barbecues once in a while in the summer. Those dad's root beers. Yeah, so I thought that was just kind of funny little topic here to get into with just that stuff, the soda with it. Entering summertime, there's memories with all that good stuff. So.
You brought up the Grant Hill commercial. The best commercial is Baby Penny. I think it's a Sprite commercial with Baby Penny. Chris Rock is Penny Hardaway's little doll thing. You guys remember that one?
Yeah, those were Nike, right?
Was that Nike?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're right.
Yeah, it was a Nike one. I was actually saw one last week on the X. I saw it on there. Somebody posted something on that. Those were the best ones. Penny.
It was kind of funny because I asked. I did a questionnaire for Darren's kids. I said, "Zabe, what's your favorite?" And kind of hesitated. I said, "Dr. Pepper," and then I said, "Derek," and he goes, "Orange." And Grace, his little daughter, said, I think it was root beer. And then Daren, I go, "What's your dad's?" She goes, "Yellow tea." And I go, "Yellow tea." I was like, "Is this code word for something?" I was like, "What is yellow tea?" I was like,
lemonade.
I was thinking maybe some cervezas, but I was like, yellow tea.
That would be my guess.
That's great. She knows me too well. That's funny. Yeah, so the soda things, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi was always one too. So I remember was collecting those points. That was a great. Remember, my dad got into that. It was like, all right. So every time you bought a box of Pepsi or something like that, they had a point on it, and you'd have to.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up with Pepsi lawn chair that lasted forever. Right? Yeah, I remember thinking that was the coolest thing. That was that.
I like the Sprite spin-offs when you could win a free 20-ounce Sprite and just brought it to the register. I was like,
oh yeah.
I remember that? You could just spin a free 20-ounce Sprite.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
just show the cap, huh? That's right.
Yeah. I'd open them up and no free one, put it back on. Go to the next.
I got it. People just don't like giving things free away anymore. Dude. We got to. They used to do a lot of that stuff with it. So, anyways, that was kind of a fun conversation with it. Sodas as we get into the summer here with it. Dr. Pepper moving to number 2. Congratulations. Well done. Cheers on a Sunday morning out there. If you want to sponsor us, feel free as well. We are
I love
willing to
Dr.
take it.
Pepper if it's our sponsor. It's my favorite
None of us
soda.
drink it though. Casey's like, I don't really drink it.
We're
Bitter
big
beer.
liars.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll always just think. I guess Coke by a mile. We'll see if that ever changes in our lifetime. If something ever changes with Coca-Cola.
You're gonna need some sort of controversy to blow that lead.
Yeah, probably so. I would agree with that. So, what did you guys think? NBA Finals wise, we saw Game 1, kind of a blowout there. You see Dallas make a little bit of a late run. I kind of wanted just to get the Jason Kidd here in just a second about his comments about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. What do you think, Tyler? Just real quick though, on the kind of the Game 1, were you surprised, not surprised by the Celtics coming out and kind of killing them?
I mean, I was surprised at how well Porzingis played. I was surprised at how bad Kyrie played. I thought the game would be closer, but the end result, the 1-0 series lead for Boston, I'm not surprised by. I think this game, 2, will be a much better game. I think Luka plays a little better, a little more efficient, and I think Kyrie will get it going. And Porzingis can't shoot like that for even 1/2 again. I couldn't imagine, so I think it'll be a much closer game. It's going to be a good series, and I think it'll be a long series.
Chase?
Yeah, I mean, Game 1. I mean, Dallas, for whatever reason, they're pretty atrocious in Game 1 throughout this whole playoff run. But yeah, no, I mean, like you said, Tyler, Kristaps was a huge. I mean, 20 points coming in with the Bill Walton 6-man, being the 6-man off the bench. I mean, might be a little, you just never know. Life's kind of crazy how those things. Maybe Bill had his self a little bit in Kristaps said we're not letting these fans down. So I was like waiting for him to say a little throw it down, big man. But,
What time? Did
but
you see the guy?
it,
Did you
With the
did you see
Willis Reed
back-to-back
entry?
plays, Casey, where Porzingis, it looked like when he got the ball at the elbow, like both guards were like, looked like they took like knees to the balls the way they were at. They're like, oh my gosh. Like, and then he shot right over the top of them. I was like, did you notice that on 2 straight plays? He got the ball at the elbow and they kind of post him up and they're both like, oh, like right to the shot, like go down. He's like, oh, that's nice. He just shoots right over the
so
top.
I know the three of us will remember this like yesterday, but it totally reminded me of Tyler and his brother and Kyle just running with high knees when
I
Tyler
didn't
guarded
do high
them.
knees. Don't lump me in there. I did not do high knees.
No,
One of the
Tyler-
best basketball
Tyler
players.
would never go to that much exercise.
Efficiency is key.
Tyler,
yeah.
Tyler running up the court like that.
But yeah, no, I mean, God, it looked like they just took shots, and I was like, man, that didn't look like it was completely legal there, but yeah, they rolled with the punches, so to speak. But yeah, no, it was a good. I mean, for Dallas, I mean, it was. I think Kyrie can't play any worse. I mean, like I told on our double double that you guys have with Doug, Kyrie's got to score. I mean, if he doesn't score, Dallas has no chance, like at all, because after the drop off for score, especially if PJ Washington's not putting buckets in. Dallas, it's going to be a real struggle, but we'll see if they can make some adjustments because they have to do that because if Horford's going, holding Luka 1 for 8 guarding him, that's not going to work.
No.
Darren, go ahead, but I do want to ask something once you're done.
Yeah, the depth I was going to say, that was the thing I remember when we were on double double. I was like, I think the Celtics have better depth. That played out in that one. You kind of watch Dallas and you're like, ugh, what was going, so that'll be interesting kind of moving forward. Go ahead, T.
Do you guys think Lively and Gafford will get exposed a little bit more, and maybe they're not the great players they were because they actually have to guard somebody?
Yeah.
Because in the first 3 series, they literally just basically stood by the basket and just wait. They can't really do that this series.
Absolutely.
See, I thought that Horford and Porzingis would be the weaker spots. I thought Lively and Gafford would be able to match up pretty well with them, but obviously that was not the case in Game 1. But I kind of, Porzingis was out a little over a month. I shouldn't say I forgot, but his range is, he can shoot that thing from about 30 feet. So, I think that's the one.
Shoot. I mean, obviously Porzingis has more range.
Yeah, and his athleticism, that block they chased down, that was pretty
ridiculous.
I was like, man, geez. So, just his presence on the inside, he was affecting a lot of shots. So, I just thought Lively and Gafford would be better. But I think that's really one of the keys, too, is they just have to, whatever God, you got to get more points from them. And Lively getting 5 fouls so quick. Just Boston overall, the tenacity they came out with. was just it was impressive. It looked like they'd played in the finals, and Dallas had never been there before.
Would they have 9 days off too? So real quick, your case: Dallas win or Boston win tonight?
Dallas, I think they pull this one off. I think they make enough
All right.
adjustments. I think Kyrie shows up. I mean, he's got to show up. I mean, if he's not scoring, like I said, they don't have a chance. But I see Kyrie. I mean, he made 0 threes last game. I see him definitely making a few more. I mean, Boston can outscore Dallas by 30 points from 3. So I think that will be a little bit. All right, it will be closer, in that statistic.
What do you got, T?
I think it'll be closer, but I think Boston wins. They have too many wing defenders that can throw at Luka and Kyrie. I think Luka's going to get his 30. It's impossible to hold him to under 30 at this point, it feels. But I think they can make him a little more inefficient. And Derek White, Drew, and the two wings and Brown and Tatum, just too much.
As you bring up Brown and Tatum, let's go to there in just a second. Let's hear what Jason Kidd said in a press conference the other day. Then we'll kind of get into that real quick here.
Well, Jalen's the best player, so just looking at what he does defensively, he picked up Luka full court. He got to the free throw line. He did everything, and that's what your best player does.
And I thought that was kind of interesting because obviously a lot of people were like, "Is this a psychology move by Jason Kidd to kind of put a little dagger in there, like hey, kind of like split that spirit, as they would say, or something like that." Jason, speak up! I get it.
He didn't sound confident saying it.
Speak up! I can't hear you. What do you make of that, Tyler? Is Jaylen Brown better than Tatum, or is this just kind of a little play there? Then you have like some Celtics players saying, "Yeah, he is our best player." Like, I don't know, So where do you kind of make of this little conversation that Kidd has brought up?
I think it's strictly strategic to see if he can cause any splintering in the roster. I don't think it'll work. Jaylen Brown's played better than Tatum the last.
That's fair.
5 games. So if you want to say that, you can say it. I don't think he is a better basketball player. I think Tatum can do more on a basketball court, but I don't mind it. All fair is love, and all fair is. I don't know. What the hell is that saying?
Love and war, right?
The fair is in July.
Bring the horse races in. But no, I think it'll be a good. I don't mind it. It is what it is. I think I disagree with him.
That fair will be in July. Casey on point with that one. What do you think, Case? Jason Kidd, Tatum, the better player. I mean, I don't know. Brown, the better player. Kidd, wrecking havoc. What is it? Is this him running into the guy with water on the sideline? What is this? Is this that kind of move right now?
I mean, I do think Jaylen Brown is the better player. I've said that all along, but
crazy.
I think he's just trying to, stir the pot, create a little division if you can, but it's just a little gamesmanship basically, and I mean anything you can to kind of just maybe crack in the in the armor here, so to speak. But I mean, at this point, the Celtics, they played so many years together, and like Jaylen Brown said, and Tatum, he's like, people have been trying to divide us forever. People saying we should trade him, they can't work together. And I mean, it's kind of a redundant statement, but that it's on the finals now, and Jason Kidd kind of said it with a little sly kind of smirk when he started that off. So I don't really take too much from it, especially in this stage. I mean, they played with each other so long. I think they probably just laugh at it, but I think Jaylen Brown's going, at least finally someone's saying it.
Porzingis is the best. What Irving? That'd be funny if Missoula next game comes out like, "Oh, Irving's their best player." If he has a big game, like that's not funny. All right. Well, as we kind of keep talking NBA, I'm just going to put these are some game 1 highlights I thought that were on the stage. We don't have to talk about necessarily these, but they're on there as we get into it. NBA Finals, though, like gentlemen, like we've done a few rewatches on some of the games over the years. Is there like a particular era that you enjoy going back to? Like Logan that I do the baseball with, he actually texted me the other day before the Mavericks game. He's getting into the Mavericks a little bit. He's all, "Hey, what are some good NBA Finals games that I could go back and watch?" And so I was giving him a few that I would do. And so and when you get to the finals, it's such a different elite play of basketball. What kind of ones do you kind of go back on, T?
I mean, those Kings Dallas series in the mid 2005 era, probably my favorite basketball. I mean, it's not the best basketball because there's no
How about
defense being
finals,
played.
maybe?
Finals? I'd
Yeah.
have to go back to the early 90s, early 80s. The Boston Celtics and Bulls probably are my two favorite teams to rewatch. There's no specific one like the Bulls. I guess, yeah, the Suns and Bulls one's really good.
Look at Clyde. What an athlete.
Yeah.
Look
Looks
at
like he's
this.
like 44.
Look at that. Right? What was that meme you see about the guys in the 80s, like Hogan and the wrestlers? These guys never ate, or they've been 80 for years. Big players, they've been that age. Case, you got an era that you go back on?
I mean, any finals that San Antonio was not in for me was spectacular because those were some rough series to watch. Like Cavs versus Spurs was awful.
Spurs coming.
I mean, yeah, Spurs coming. I would say, I don't know, it's a toss up, man, because I loved watching, probably throwbacks that we did in the 90s. Those were some of my favorites. I mean, always being a Warriors fans, those ones are always, special to me and as a fan base. And those are the ones I really, really followed. But I think, anytime I got to see Jordan and Utah play was probably my favorite games just because of the star power. And that's what really made me fall in love was watching Utah and Chicago. And I remember Tyler was like, "Why do you hate Jordan?" And I was just because he always freaking wins. I was like, I want to do someone else with it. And Malone and Stockton had like such the greatest teams really, and they had over like 60 wins every year, and they just couldn't climb that mountain. Jordan was just too much for him, and for me, that's what made me fall in love with basketball. Was the late 90s.
Man, some of these hairstyles as we're getting them in here on here as well. Like just these 80s ones were, I think, is my kind of favorite era. If I kind of look back, you get the Bird, the Magic, you get Clyde, you get some different ones at the end with Isaiah Thomas there too. Those are because I feel like the other problem was with there were some decent games along the way, but like our high school years, I feel like a lot of them were blowouts. So it just wasn't like that Lakers run for a while of dominance, and none of those series. I mean, maybe a couple games here in that Pacers one, but I don't know. It's not the same.
I mean, the Pacers. The Nets and Lakers finals those were the worst finals I think I've ever seen.
And Spurs Nets, remember that was a rough one too. Spurs Nets,
keep the Nets out of the finals. We'll be all right.
They couldn't do it. The Nets could.
That whole early 2000 run was like just boring. But like even if it was the Lakers, like it was fun when they were playing the Kings. But once they got to the finals, it was like Shaq and Kobe.
Oh man,
I don't know. They weren't exciting styles of play.
I think once Jordan left, the East got so they weren't very good. I mean, the only times I really remember was like Miami, New York would battle it out, but other than that, I just don't remember too many special teams.
Those weren't even like
Boston
teams.
Boston when they had Ray Allen, Garnett. I mean, the Kobe, those were good. Those were probably one of the greatest series. Was Boston and LA 08, 09. Those were great ones.
Boston, yeah, those were. I was trying. There was. I was watching. What one did I rewatch randomly? Was the Magic versus the Lakers with Kobe was there, and I was like, I'm like, how did the Magic even like they were good? They beat the Cavs, go there, but you look back at it and you're like, Jameer Nelson was not there in game one, and they're just like Stan Van Gundy and not Stan, Jeff and Mark Jackson were just like, if this guy plays and he is capable of winning, if Jameer Nelson comes back, they can win the championship. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like they had like Haydu as their starter. They had like Mikael Petrus was like their sixth man.
Lewis.
Who was good at the game I watched, but it was just kind of funny. Like, man, that was a mismatch too in that series. Like, even though they beat the Cavs and they beat LeBron, like they just figured out a way to beat that team. They were not the East, the West balance was just so off for a long time.
It still is.
The East might win this year, though. So I would
one
disagree.
team outside.
That's my point. That's the difference. The best team in the East was usually the team that made it to the finals, and they never won. That's usually what happened. Is they were always like the one seed, and they never were good enough to actually make it. Like Philly was a one seed. The Nets were always basically one seeds the whole time, and they could never.
And LeBron was in the East for a decade, so like, no one was really going past the Cavs. Ask Paul George about that one.
That kind of made it boring a little bit too, huh? Because they didn't always play the best like Eastern. Like he had true rivals once in a while, but I thought it was more on Miami and he was at Cleveland at
His
times. There,
biggest challengers were Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. It's not the who's who of NBA talent.
No, definitely not the who's. These are some of the Game 2 NBA Finals highlights that I get up on the screen here. As we're kind of talking about other things here too. What do you guys make of?
For this game.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. The one just right there. Come on, Russell. No chance. No chance. We're jumping over you. What do you guys? What do you guys make of the Warriors? Looney's probably gone. It looks like 22.5. Clay, Paul. Is that the reality? Do you think Jackson Davis can get the job done as a starter? Or is that not a reality?
I mean, I think he can play 25 minutes. I don't think they're going to ask him to do. I don't think they're going to ask him to do that. They never asked their center to play more than 25 minutes. So I think he will be fine. I think they need to pair him up with someone. He can't just be the one guy who's going to be over 6'8". I don't think he's that type of player.
I worry about that with him. I just don't. I just. He's all right. He's solid. I worry about some of the consistency with that. Like you said, if he's the number one guy. So if they're going to bring him into Looney rule, I don't even know what that means anymore. Some of the Warriors bigs anymore. So that's a big issue too. Is they always. I don't feel like we'll see what happens. But if Looney's gone, I'm okay with that. He looked like he was toasted at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Case Big Loon, he's out. I'm sorry. These are.
Get a statue.
Is that Sam Perkins? The 3-day Sam. I like Sam. Sam. I'm sorry. He just came up on the big. Sam was important for me in NBA 2K. You just stand at the top of the 3, Sam. And we're just getting a lot.
That's not as flat in the shot as I remember Sam having on Seattle.
No, Seattle. That was real old Samuel at that point over there. Real old Samuel there. Yeah, okay. So I think that was the Warriors. We'll see what happens there with Davis. You think he could actually start and be a legit starter for them?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, with the pieces around him, I don't see him being an all-star next year, but I mean, he's definitely going to be serviceable. I mean, I could see him playing like what you say, splitting minutes with the center. I think at his size, he's a little undersized. I think about 6'8", 6'9", but he does have great leaping ability. At least as a lob threat. His defense was a lot better than Looney's. I mean, his rebounding obviously needs some work. Looney is just a force. I mean, he's just that durable guy that was just always there for the Warriors. He was in every run. He when you needed big rebounding games, he was there, set the screens, do everything the Warriors offense really asked the center to do. So, but then I think, as the new ball era has kind of kicked in, it's hard to have just a traditional center that can't spread the floor at all. And that's what really, I think Curry will benefit from Trace Jackson Davis and Draymond Green. And I would think what you said with Chris Paul leaving, they're going to have to find another. I mean, Pajensky, I think he's going to be even better. I mean, was all rookie. So, I mean, they got some good pieces around them. But like you said, I think they just need to get younger, real younger. I mean, Chris Paul, Looney, he looked like his timeline and shelf had been done.
He's out.
Yeah, I mean, he played, so many games for them. I mean, he's only in his 20s, I believe, still late 20s, but I mean, he's just, they asked so much of him, and he played so much.
Does he get a statue? Is he get a Looney statue? The Looney, remember saying he should get a statue for that one playoff, right? Looney the statue.
Looney the statue.
He has like ice bags on him in the statue. He's like, he's got
looking like the Predator with his dreads over his side.
So those are some good things the NBA kind of looking back highlight wise with that. The last NBA thing I was going to get on here because with the Olympics get on here, I thought this was kind of a funny thing. Chris Mullen with the McDonald's stuff. I don't know if you guys remember all those commercials in the 90s.
If you're hungry for the gold, you practice. You get hungry, you go to McDonald's, where for a limited time you can get a big beefy triple cheeseburger for a big guy like myself. Big guy, Mikey. And when you team one up with large fries and a large soft drink in a free USA Olympic basketball collector cup, you've got yourself the gold medal meal. What you want, it's what you get. At McDonald's today. Gold medal, it's in the bag.
Oh man, those things that brings that.
I wish I still had one of those cups. We
used to have one for a while. I think we probably threw it out. That's right. What happened? I remember I used to have. It wasn't one of those, but it was like a Derek Coleman. They did it like in '90s. Derek Coleman cup.
Coleman.
It was like Derek Coleman McDonald's cup. I think I had the Cuba Lodge one too. That was the other one we had. Yeah, those commercials always bring back good dads there. The meal, the triple cheeseburger meal. I didn't know that was a thing right there. I wonder what that cost back then. Compared to
$1.
Exactly.
Hey, you brought up Team USA. Caitlin Clark getting left off the roster due to millions of fans being upset with her getting limited minutes, supposedly, if she was on this loaded roster. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's not to me the best marketing tool. When she won her playing, the best player.
I mean, this is good for Caitlin Clark though. She's played for like a year straight, so at least she gets a little break there. But
she'll have her time.
Exactly. I don't think it's as big a deal as some people are making it. I think the excuse, according to two sources or something, is kind of lame. Blaming fans for.
Is she the Tebow effect?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you can't be the backup. They'll call for him to be the starter.
We can't bring him on. Tebow. But that's what it kind of sounds like the way you're saying it. Is the fans.
Well, that's what they. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, she was a rookie, like you said, Tyler. I mean, the first year, I mean, I think if the WNBA was smart, they might have her just on the roster at least. But, I mean, you don't want to be, just on the team. You want to play like anyone, you don't want to just be on the team to be on the team. So, I mean, for her, like you said, Daren, she's been playing ball like year round, especially after, the run through college, then straight to the WNBA. Then the WNBA just made her play like a ridiculous amount of games in amount of days. It was just insane. So, I mean, it was kind of nice to see her at least bounce back and get tie the rookie 7 3-pointers in a game the other day. So, I mean, for her, I mean, you got so many women that have been in that league that are well deserved to be on that USA roster. So, in hindsight, she probably should have been left off that team.
From like the game popularity, maybe not the best call, but maybe for those reasons it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm with Tyler. I don't think it's the end of the world either way with it. Purdy still Brian is back on it, man. He is not happy with Big Brock getting left off the list here. There's a lot of people saying it, so that's a local thing. Keep looking out, Brock. You got to prove it one more year. It looks like here, and then you got the Raiders. Minshew, can he be the next Rich Gannon? That's the storyline I'm going with this year. Tyler said, can the Raiders be a top 10 defense? I don't think they can be a top 10 defense, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong. Matt Crosby's a beast, but the Raiders I'm always going to be pessimistic. I mean, a great ending to the year, great finish there, but we need to see when it's best on best at the beginning of the year how this looks. So, and we're not playing desperate for nothing. So, that's my thought with the Raiders case. Any thought with the Raiders defense here? Top 10 potential, top 5?
I'd say be top 10. I mean, shoot, they finished the year on a hell of a run. As soon as Antonio Pierce took over, they were pretty much in that ladder of, defense at the end of the year. So I think adding a couple.
Keeping it up though. I question that going into the new year though. Like I feel like the players' motivation of it, will that change?
I call that the Mike Singletary effect.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Singletary. Send everyone to the locker room at halftime. No, I mean, to me, I think Antonio Pierce, he's galvanized the guys. They got a coach that they want to play for. I mean, they got rid of the guy that was the worst coach that ever existed in Raiders franchise besides maybe Lane Kiffin. So,
that Art Shell second run was tough too.
Art was
the second run. I didn't say the first. I said the second run. Yeah. That's clarify. When Al Davis was like, I don't know anybody. I don't want any of the. I don't trust anybody. I trust you. What was that other guy? The college guy. He was a bad one too. The young guy. Oh gosh.
Lane Kiffin.
Kiffin. Yes, that was it. Yeah.
You're getting old. I just said Lane.
Oh, sorry. I misheard you.
It's you can never forget what is the 78-yard field goal. What was that? 73.
Still one of the best calls I've ever seen.
Are you really trying to lose this job? I don't give a damn. Sebastian, get out.
The best part was Al coming out with the little old school thing that I don't even know what they're called.
Projector.
To fire him. That was the best part.
Now look at
No.
Lane went here, and he did this here, and then he went back here, and then he did this. That'd be funny if he ended up drawing a clown face after all. He's like, you see, there, now that is like one of those moments where
It is a new era, though, I think, in Raiders. I mean, Mark Davis has finally tasted championship success back-to-back with the Las
doesn't
Vegas
mean anything,
Aces.
though.
So I think he might be bringing a little relevancy back to the Las Vegas Raiders.
What a haircut! What a hair! What a hair! It really,
Really gets a haircut that actually resembles a real haircut. I cannot trust Mark. You're willing to go out in public with that haircut. There is something mentally.
He doesn't fear.
100%.
He doesn't fear man. He doesn't fear man.
Have you seen that? You seen that fine honey he was sitting next to in the box?
That was his mother. Can you get that?
His mother goose.
That's all right. So Minshew still a big question mark though, but maybe Richard Gannon vibes. That we'll see if we can get that. See if we can get that talk going there for the Raiders. That's what they need. They still need a quarterback to get the job done there.
If he becomes an MVP of the league, my God! I mean,
What Sonoma State legend Larry Allen passes away, 52, on vacation in Mexico. It's still crazy. Just I remember just seeing his picture there. Like I don't know, just because he's considered one of the greatest offensive linemen. And you're like, the poor defensive lineman he had to go against for a few weeks. At Sonoma State, like I can't even imagine. Like
there's not even a football program there anymore. Like,
the Seawolves,
playing scrubs, and you have the best offensive lineman in the world just hanging out in Rodder Park.
Yeah, like you're like right, Katani, right there. How many times you went to Scandia? Every time you went to Scandia.
Broke the machine.
He was one of those like fixtures though as an offensive lineman though. Like he was kind of like that face of right, like for our era.
Yeah, and he has those like legendary tales of his weightlifting, and he has like that aura to him, even outside of football. Like people, like exactly. The whole mixture just is a perfect. And then he played for the Cowboys and Emmitt Smith, who ended up breaking the record. So it's just like this perfect combination of how you know who this lineman is.
Case, big Larry.
Yeah, he was an incredible athlete, man. Like you speak about his power, his strength, his speed, his agility. I mean, like you said, coming from Sonoma State, just an obscure school that no one would probably even know around the world if he did not live around here. I mean, at all. I mean, there's no way. I wouldn't think. I mean, you probably have a better chance of knowing the Santa Rosa JC than you do Sonoma State, to be honest.
Well, they don't even have a football program anymore, so.
I mean, there you go. So, I mean, just because around our area, football is really not. I mean, I know California produces a ton of quarterbacks, but that's more in the LA region, not in NorCal. So, I mean,
Jeff Goff.
Well, he came from Tennessee, and he never would say Sonoma State, though. I remember on the ABC things, he would just they would announce where they were from as players. He would never say Sonoma State, or if he did, I don't.
Hard.
Yeah, he would never say Sonoma State. So the Seawolves never quite got the shout out they deserved, or whatever I think they were like something else at the time before they went to the Seawolves. They were like,
I know when you create a player in Madden, you can still choose Sonoma State because of Larry Allen. I don't even think they realize it's not even a football program.
Should we write it in? Should we write this? They were diminished. Well, all right, so we have that as well. We have the Vikings jerseys you talked about. As we kind of get it, maybe we can kind of finish it up with this with some small points we have along the way too. Is winners and losers this week. And if we got some stuff, we can still conversate on that. Tyler, is the Vikings uniform considered a winner or a loser?
I mean, I like it. I think it's pretty cool with the accent of purple for the Vikings on all white. I don't ever want my team to have alternate jerseys like that. Just wear white and then their throwback red and white is my ideal situation for my team. But those are good.
I thought it was the Colts for a second when they went straight. I was like the way they showed it on the. I thought it was. I couldn't see the purple the logo on the side, but it looked like the Vikings there. What other winners do you have this week?
I got college baseball. Kentucky beats Oregon State in the first game, so Oregon State's got to win 2 in a row, and then the number 1 seed Tennessee falls to Evansville to go to 1-1 big game 3 coming up. So I got college baseball having some good drama before we even get to Omaha.
That's kind of a random one. Edmondsville out of all the other ones. Case, you got any winners of the week?
Yeah, I was thinking, just as a baseball fan as you guys are, and I'm hit or miss, but just seeing I if I get it wrong, let me know. But Pat Nisk going against one-on-one against Shohei Ohtani, I thought that was a pretty cool moment in baseball. 1, 2, 3,
Paulski.
100 mile per excuse me. Thank you, Tyler. 1, 2, 3, blowing 100 miles per hour. Then Ohtani comes up and just blasts a home run. It's just like, to me, that's what baseball. It's like you just want to see straight cheddar. Hey, can you hit my best pitch? And Shohei's like, all right, got it timed up the next at bat. And everyone
No,
goes,
that
what
was
happened? Everyone's like, what happened in the third at bat? I'm like, I don't know, but I saw the first two. But
you probably didn't get a third at bat.
it was just awesome to
Skeens was
see.
yanked.
It was always good old country hardball. Like that's what you want to see. Like it's like that's what it's like. Just give me your best and let me see if I can hit it. I don't know. Me, that was really cool. And then another
Awesome.
winner I thought was Oklahoma Sooners. The woman, gosh, another road college. Like they're in the College World Series. It seems like every
Like the
year.
Boston Celtics, all of a sudden, like the UCLA Bruins went on an unreal run. Do you feel like that happens more in women's sports? They'll like
Yeah.
these long decade run type of things.
Yeah. I think you
you're
get a good coach in a woman's sport, and they just can. I don't know why it happened, but it seems to happen that way. Like UConn.
The Cossacks. Is it Cossacks?
I think part of it too is like the coaching. Like the whole staff seems to stick around more. I don't know.
The recruiting in Oklahoma. They watched Tulsa. What a show. So they get that. This was a member World Series one. Remember, this is when I think this was to go to actually the College World Series though. So this was like really different. This was so tied 6-6, bottom of the ninth. Again, whoever wins, winner goes to the College World Series. So here it was. What was a couple years ago?
1-1 to Bowser. Bowser skies this one, and they don't spot it. Kennedy looking for it, and it drops. Stanford wins.
Josh Hamilton.
And it's going to Omaha.
Oh, Tucker. Stanford.
Wow.
Talk about the worst way to lose a game. You feel like totally cheated on something like that. Like, you idiot. You're like, if it was me, you're like the first baseman throwing your glove at the ball. No. What a horrible feeling if you're the outfielder there. Horrible feeling.
Even the feeling for that shortstop who can see the ball and he's running and he's like, it's right there. Go get it. Like, I can't get it. But.
DeAndre Jordan asked Chris Paul. No, we got that right there. So,
I'd be pissed if I was the pitcher because that's going down as I gave up a single to lose the College World Series. Like, yeah, it was an error. No, sorry, it was a clean single there.
I had winner of the week, Clay Courts, French Open, the one time that we enjoyed Clay Courts. If you like Clay Courts, this is your week to watch. I think we never gave any French Open updates this morning. We're sorry about that. I think Alcaraz is playing at the moment right now. Tyler, we got that. Is that way?
I have no idea. There's no Nadal, Federer, or Joker. I'm out.
Macaroons and coffee. Florida Panthers jerseys randomly in Cloverdale yesterday. I saw about 9 yesterday coming out of the Wolf House after the game, and I was driving. I was like, "What the heck? Where we have a secret Florida Panthers club here?" I was like, "What do we got?" It was like the most random thing I saw, like driving by, and it's hard not to spot like a big like red jersey. I was like, and it's like 7. The time was like just ending. And I kind of look at the score, and I see they won. I was like, "Wait, what the heck? We got like 9 jerseys of Florida Panthers fans." Was not expecting that in the bingo card yesterday driving around in Cloverdale, California. So winner, Florida Panther jerseys. You made it all the way out to Cloverdale, California. Congratulations there as well. All right, losers of the week. Casey, you got a loser this week?
NBA Finals jerseys. What are we doing? Like, just go to the originals. I hate when we keep doing this. Like, give me Boston green. Like, give me the Dallas like blue. Like, I don't need these black and like will Boston not even wear their original jerseys in this finals? Like, I just don't get it. Like during the regular season, do your thing, experiment, whatever. I know you're trying to get revenue sales with different jerseys and all that, but to me, it's just it's not distinct. It's give me the OG jerseys.
feel like the Warriors and Cavs started this with those like sleeve jerseys in the finals. It's like, what is going on here?
Right. And then I kind of wish they would bring back the logo in the middle of the floor a little too, like the NBA finals, like the trophy.
Yeah.
Put that over the middle to kind of make it. I don't know. You're right. It did seem a little. It did feel regular season-esque with some of the court and like some of the visuals around it. And usually I feel like they usually go out of their way to do stuff that way. It doesn't seem like that. That's a good loser of the week. Tyler, you got one?
ESPN's WNBA rookie ladder. They have Caitlin Clark 6. You have Angel Reese. You have Cameron Brankover, whatever. You have her teammate Kate Martin, who's played 19 minutes, averaging 4, 3, and 1, shooting 27% above her. I don't know what is going on. How is this a thing? I don't know. It's all for
How many
clicks.
technicals does she
Big
have?
loser.
We're basing it on technicals too now. We can't have enough there. Yeah, that's terrible. 6. Wow. This is pretty low. Snell to the IL this week. Big Blake the Snake again. The big signing for the Giants goes down again. Goes to the IL. No shock there.
He's going to be one of the most hated players in Giants history.
He might end up be forever Giant. He will not be a forever Giant, I think. He will not be with his face on the wall there on the bricks. A's going to Vegas. They say they want to play 10 games, always out of market, though, for their home game. So Vegas fans not already kind of like, what the heck are we doing here? Like this guy's – so they're starting to kind of already feel what we're talking about, all been saying for years. We already brought up the Caitlin Clark thing, the Team USA. So those were my kind of thoughts with it this week for winners and losers this week.
Can I get one more loser?
Yes, absolutely.
It should be on every show. John Fisher. Every show, he's going to be a loser. It's going to be loser of the week until the time the A's leave. I mean, he's just so bad. I mean, I've been showing Daren videos of like just how terrible the Coliseum is and like what they've done. Like the scoreboard's not even finished. Like if there's random turf seats now in the bleachers, like it's just like the urinals or what they are. I mean, they had
like that before Fisher.
In 2005, he took over. I mean, like you had
hard to upgrade the urinal.
I mean, dude,
that was what brought the fans to Oakland. You got to open your urinal.
Dude, since 2004 or 5, he took over. Right, their payroll was 34 million. It is now officially 43 or 47. I think it's so. He's always like, I mean, the fans, Miami Marlins are drawing double our fans, and they have 12,000. We're getting just a shade over 5,000 a game.
WNBA numbers.
I mean, it's just awful, dude. It's John Fisher. You are literally, I can say this, you are a piece of crap, and I hate you. Like, I have never been so disappointed in an owner. In Louisville, Bud Selig, Manfred, like giving them their thing to their butt buddy friends. It's just so, it's all ridiculous though. It's it is. You tell me you didn't have enough money for this owner and Joe Lacob. Look what he did with the Warriors, and it's just Fisher. I mean, it's disappointing, man. It's upsetting as just someone as like that grew up, and I'm so over just John Fisher. I'm done with him.
He's definitely loser of the year too.
Loser for life.
Loser on that for sure. I agree with it. All right, T. You got Little League today? Or you done?
I got Little League at 9, and then I have the ceremony at 5:30 to celebrate our forfeited champions. Always a lot of drama.
Hopefully you guys can word it better than that when you tell the kids. All right. So for Tyler, Casey Breyer, guys, let's keep doing it every week. It's fun. We're back. I was make our way through the summer. We'll be back next Sunday. Maybe with the rewatchable, we'll see how the NBA Finals plays out. If not, we'll probably do on a few weeks, a week after that. So for Tyler McGirt, Casey Breyer, I'm Daren. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.